All right, and this is the start of the 2010 AMC 10A from problem number 1. As a reminder, for about the first 5 questions, you usually want to average about 30 seconds a question. Maybe even less, maybe a little bit more. Obviously, the difficulty varies year by year, especially though on like 2012 and previous years, the first questions should be relatively quick, but you don't want to go so fast that you leave out some word and make a casual, silly, or simple mistake that costs you your qualification for the AIME. So work fast, but not too fast. Just make sure you're thinking through everything carefully, but just do it as a fast rate of speed. So here we go. If I go a little quick, we'll see how it goes. Mary's top bookshelf holds 5 books with the following width in centimeters. Here they are. What is the average book width in centimeters? Average means add it all up and divide by the number of things. Don't get too cute. It's problem number 1. I thought about converting this to 12 over 2, 1 over 2, 2, and so on and working. That's just too much. It's number 1. Just do it. So half and 2.5 you should combine to get 3. 6 and 1 makes 7. 7 and 3 is 10. Another 10 is 20. 20 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 4. And we're on to the next one. All right, and then on to the 10A problem number 2 from 2010. 4 identical squares, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 rectangle are placed together to form one large square as shown. Stop a minute to process. This is the rectangle. This big shape then is a square. Okay. The length of the rectangle is how many times as large as its width? You should have kind of green light go feeling, like you just need to have stimulus response, get to it right away. You can choose values or you can use a variable. I'll use a variable, we'll call it x, it's simple, 4 x's and an x here because each one's a square. It says this is a rectangle but the big one's a square, and since this side is 4x, this is 4x, this whole thing is 4x, and this is 3x. So then this is the length, this is the width. What do I multiply 3x by to get 4x? The answer is 4/3 because the 3's cancel. Answer B. All right, and now for problem 3 from the 10A from 2010. Tyrone had 97 marbles and Eric had 11. Tyrone then gave some of his marbles to Eric so that Tyrone ended with twice as many marbles as Eric. How many marbles did Tyrone give to Eric? Again, just get started. He's got 97. He's going to take away marbles, and he's going to give them to Eric, who's then going to gain those marbles, obviously. Whatever he loses, Eric gains. But they're not going to be equal. Instead, Tyrone ended with twice as many, so 2 times what Eric had after the exchange took place. So this is 22 plus 2x. Move the negative x over to get 3x. Subtract 22 to get 75, and x is 25. On to the next one. Okay, and now for the start of problem 4 from the 10A from 2010. A book that is to be recorded onto compact discs. Now in a few years, no one's going to know what these are. Hopefully you guys do. Takes 412 minutes to read aloud. Each disc can hold up to 56 minutes of reading. Assume that the smallest possible number of discs is used. Real quick, you should pause kind of there and maybe think about what's going on. If you want the smallest number of discs, you should be able to say, well, 8 times 50 is 400. So 8's going to be enough to get it all on there, I think. But could we do it with 7? If we maxed out this, could we do 7 times 50 plus 6? This is how you think of it in your head, by the way. So 350 and 42 is 392. It's not going to be able to be enough to do it. So you're going to need 8 discs. So now we already know before reading farther that the smallest possible number of discs is 8. So we keep reading from there. And that each disc contains the same length of reading. How many minutes of reading will each disc contain? We basically want the average of all 412 minutes averaged onto 8 discs. So it's basically 412 divided by 8. Now don't do it straight up. We already know that 400 over 8 is 50. So we just have to add 12 over 8, and that's 3 over 2, which is 1.5, 51.5. This is the 2010 AMC 10A problem 5, which in my opinion was the easiest of the first 5, maybe competing with 1 for that title. The area of a circle whose circumference is 24 pi. Pause and interpret. 2 pi r equals 24 pi, therefore r is 12. Is k pi, so the area is k pi. What is the value of k? Well, pi r squared is 144 pi, so 144 must be k. That's E. We're on to the next set.